Hey everybody, hope you're having an awesome day today. So in today's video, we're going to be reviewing another library, and this is going to be Bunker Strings, okay? And this library is definitely a niche library in that the aim is not really to provide a workhorse string library that can cover all the basic articulations. In fact, it's relatively different and unique in its market. It covers a lot of not commonly recorded articulations, has a lot of tremolos, lots of drumstick techniques for those short notes. So instead of using, col legno, using the bows, they actually decided to go with a drumstick. So you get a much more percussive and almost like a more attack of a sound, which is really, really cool. And we'll explore that in a second. They also recorded a lot of pizzicatos, ricochets, and the standout feature here really is the density slider, which is automatically mapped to mod wheel. So as you ride it, it starts off with 3 players, he says, and then as you put it up to the top, it goes to 9 players, which is really cool. For me, I really like a nice sound out of the box. So I was definitely pleasantly surprised with this library, and it was recorded in a bunker in Copenhagen. So it was just a very unique selling point, to be honest. And the recording quality is just really, really good. So I can't fault that at all. And I really like the fact that it was recorded in kind of a, this dry environment. So you can add your own reverb to taste and have it blend with your other libraries nicely. So, libraries like Berlin Strings or, Spitfire and those ones, they naturally have a lot of room recorded into the samples. But samples like these, and it reminds me of another library called Hyperion Strings from Sound Iron. These two are very, very dry. So if you can imagine putting this one and Hyperion in kind of like a film score or a video game, could be pretty cool. So let me play a few of these patches here. First of all, let me quickly show you the structure. So you see here I have Bunker Strings. We've got these 4 folders laid out. So if I go into instruments, you see we have all the string sections: violin, viola, cello, bass, and the ensemble. So I've went into the ensemble patches here. I pulled in each one, and yeah, let me just do a quick run through of the sounds here and show you what they sound like. So it's velocity mapped. So right, if you press very, very lightly, you get a very soft sample. But the harder you press, the bigger and the more strong the attack. Right, and you hear that doom, that leftover sound there, which is really nice. So, and even for these short patches, with the density at the bottom, it's like, less players, and then at the top, it's the 9 players. So, very cool. But you can tell the recording quality is very nice. Just a very crisp and clean sound there. Let's move on to the Drumstick Tremeloes. So let's see what this sounds like. I'm just gonna move the microphone a little bit here. Okay, great. So let's see. So right now the density is at the bottom, right? 3 players. Raise it up. Now you got all 9 players. Let's put in some more notes here. Yeah, this patch really reminds me of just like rain, I'm just imagining like a rainy scene maybe in a film, and with some reverb, this could be a really effective passage or patch to show kind of like rain falling, someone walking alone, and just showing like, really hear those raindrops coming down. Then you got you got knobs for attack and release and stereo width and pan, which is also pretty cool. Let's hear the loud pits tremolos. these are just straight pizzicatos. Naturally, as you go more lower into the register, like with the basses and stuff, it does sound tend to get a little more muddy, and the sounds tend to blend more together, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Especially if you want like a bed of, just sound building up, then something like that could help. But if you're looking for the individual plucks to come through all the time, then you might consider using the cello instead of the basses for that. So, and then this one kind of combines two. It goes from the pizzicatos into the drumstick tremolos as you rise up the density. So pizzicato into the drumstick. It's pretty cool. You get like both there, both in one. So same thing with pizz into ricochet. So ricochet is like a ding, ding, when they bounce the bows on the strings. So let's play with the stereo width a little bit. Right, so there's your pan. All right, Ricochet Tremeloes, we kind of already heard what those sound like, but by themselves. Again, just very, very dry. I mean, Dan could have opted to just let it cut off exactly after or as you let go of the note, but having this little bit of a release is actually really nice. So, I mean, if we turn it all the way down, then you just get nothing. So this option maybe about like, 75% or something like that. Having it a little bit there is kind of really nice. Okay, and then soft into loud pitch tremolo. So plucking softly. Some of the cleanest tremolos I've heard so far, and then that's just a soft pitch tremolo. Yeah, and that's basically it. It's not that large of a library, but what it does have, the articulations are quite unique to this library. Very, very clean sounds. And kind of like a bonus, he's included some sound design patches here, and I've pulled in two of my favorites, the distant pad and the reversed texture. So these are both relatively similar in nature. So let me just show you what they sound like. So this is the distant pad. So a very, very nice, like almost like it does sound cinematic, but you could I can imagine hearing this like in space, in a kind of like an emotional scene maybe. That'd be really nice. And then the reverse texture kind of takes this, turns it backwards. So it's like you can hear the plucks and the pizzicato, whatever, reversing. So like there's tiny little crescendos like pins, growing in every few or every like second. That's always fun to have. You could also use these as inspiration starters, if you have your typical patches, the ones that come with the library, and if you're into sound design, you can definitely distort and twist these to your own liking as much as you like, and that could create some pretty interesting results. For me personally, I see myself using the drumstick shorts and the pizzicato swells the most. I have a lot of bread and butter kind of typical string libraries. So I might use this library to kind of supplement that and add some, clean touches to it. But if I'm creating more of an atmospheric type of thing, then I'll definitely consider the tremolo patches. The pizzicato into drumstick tremolo is probably my favorite when it comes to that, because the texture just completely changes and it just evolves. Right? So for me, recording quality is kind of number one, and I think Dan has really nailed that here. Number two, it's very, very dry, which is perfect for your own mixing in terms of finding the right reverbs to balance with it. Of course, you can use EQ to shape the actual tone of the instrument if you wanted to do that. Yeah, and it's the articulations are relatively consistent across the board. The bass has a few less articulations than the rest of them do, which is, you know, not a surprise. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So definitely a really cool library to check out. Bunker Strings is not that expensive. It's about, I think it's like $59 or something at the time of this recording. So definitely give it a look if you're looking for an extra bit of spice in your string samples. And you know, Dan's definitely delivered here with Volume 1, so I'm excited to see what he does with Volume 2. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.